Once upon a time, there was a boy who didn't fit in. He wasn't tall like his father, or strong like his older brother. He wasn't even very smart. The boy was kind of clumsy. It seemed like everything he touched turned into a disaster. One day, the boy decided he'd had enough of being underestimated. He wanted to show everyone what he could do. As he walked through the village, he looked for someone who needed help, someone who would notice his strength and intelligence. But no one even noticed him as he passed. Discouraged, the boy went home feeling more like a nobody than ever before. Then, suddenly, the boy heard a commotion outside his house. Curious, he opened the door and peeked out to see what was happening. To his surprise, people from the village had gathered around a tree, talking excitedly. The boy joined the crowd and listened intently. The villagers were discussing a terrifying threat from a neighboring kingdom. Their king had assembled a massive army and was marching toward their village, intending to destroy everything in his path. People were scared, wondering if anyone could stop the approaching danger. As the boy listened, he realized this was his chance. Maybe now people would finally notice him. Eager to prove himself, he stepped forward and confidently announced, "Don't worry, I can protect you." The villagers stopped talking and stared at the boy. They couldn't believe what they were hearing. Some started to laugh, while others shook their heads in disbelief. Overcome with anger, the boy ran away, tears streaming down his face. He hated feeling so helpless and misunderstood. But then something amazing happened. As he walked through the forest, he stumbled upon a clearing filled with sunlight. In the middle stood a majestic oak tree with its branches reaching toward the sky. The boy approached the tree and rested his hand on its rough bark. Suddenly, a wise old man appeared beside him, smiling gently. "Hello, little one," the man greeted warmly. The boy hesitated, surprised to see the mysterious man. "Who are you?" he asked cautiously. The old man chuckled and replied, "I am here to help you discover your true potential. Don't be afraid. I know you're struggling, but I want you to understand that you possess unique abilities that set you apart from others." The boy looked at the old man in disbelief. "What do you mean?" he questioned. "How can I be special? Everyone laughs at me and thinks I'm not capable of anything." The old man placed a hand on the boy's shoulder and said kindly, "You are wrong. You may feel like everyone laughs at you, but that's only because they haven't discovered your hidden talents yet. Tell me, little one, what do you enjoy doing the most?" The boy thought for a moment. "I love listening to stories," he answered. The old man smiled and said, "Ah, I knew you'd say that. Being a storyteller is a remarkable gift. It allows you to capture the hearts and minds of those who listen to your tales. You have the ability to transport people to different worlds and make them feel deeply about the characters and their adventures. This is a truly special talent." With that said, the old man handed the boy a beautifully carved wooden box. "Here is a magical storytelling stick," he explained. "Whenever you tap it against the ground, it will bring your stories to life. People will be amazed by your talent and appreciate the joy it brings them." The boy's eyes widened with wonder as he held the storytelling stick in his hands. He understood that his gift was not ordinary. It had the power to touch people's lives in profound ways. From that day on, the boy became known throughout the land for his captivating stories. People no longer laughed at him, but instead gathered around him, eager to hear his magical tales. He learned that being different was not a bad thing. In fact, it made him truly special. The boy realized that his worth wasn't defined by others' opinions, but by the unique abilities and talents he possessed. With the help of the old man and his storytelling stick, he discovered his passion for sharing stories and the positive impact it could have on people's lives. And so the once underestimated boy became a respected storyteller, proving that what makes us different also makes us strong. Hey guys, are you looking for new ways to overcome challenges and reach your full potential? Look no further. In today's story, we meet a timid young man named Gideon, who feels inadequate compared to his strong and brave peers. But when faced with a massive army threatening his village, through the help of a mysterious mentor, Gideon assembles his own army and devises a clever plan to defeat their enemies despite being outnumbered. If you've ever felt like you're not good enough or strong enough to face your problems, this story is for you. Join Gideon on his incredible journey of self-discovery and learn how to turn your weaknesses into strengths. Start reading now and discover how Gideon went from feeling like a nobody to becoming a true hero. Once upon a time in the ancient land of Israel, there lived a man named Gideon. In fact, he was considered the weakest link in his family, and most people didn't even know his name. But Gideon's peaceful life changed dramatically when his village was threatened by a massive army from the neighboring kingdom of Midian. Led by a ruthless general named Zebah, they had already defeated several Israeli armies, and their sights were set on destroying Gideon's village next. When Gideon heard about the impending attack, he was terrified. As the Midianite soldiers drew closer, the villagers panicked, not knowing what to do. Some wanted to surrender and give up their village without a fight. Gideon struggled with these thoughts, torn between fear and a sense of responsibility. Then, just when all hope seemed lost, an old and mysterious man named Hotham approached Gideon. Hotham was known for his wisdom and his ability to connect people with their inner strength. He offered to help Gideon during this difficult time and guide him in protecting his village. Hotham taught Gideon techniques to enhance his physical and mental abilities, revealing his hidden potential for greatness. As the weeks passed, Gideon grew stronger and more confident. He assembled a team of fellow villagers who, like him, wanted to defend their homes. Together, they formed a ragtag army that was determined to defeat the Midianites. When Zebah and his troops arrived, they were shocked to find that the villagers had prepared for their arrival. Instead of panicking, Gideon's army welcomed them with open arms, ready to do battle. Despite their smaller numbers, Gideon's army was well equipped and trained. Thanks to Hotham's guidance, the battle began with both sides charging towards each other with their weapons raised. As the fighting intensified, Gideon's army began to gain the upper hand. They used their agility and intelligence to outmaneuver the Midianites, confusing their larger and heavier opponents. Gideon himself led from the front, displaying bravery and skill that surprised even him. Realizing that his time was running out, Zebah made a desperate attempt to flee. But Gideon, who had been tracking his movements, intercepted him. In a final showdown, Gideon confronted Zebah, their swords clashing as they fought for their respective sides. Despite being outnumbered, Gideon's army managed to hold off the Midianite reinforcements, allowing Gideon to focus on defeating Zebah. As the remaining Midianite soldiers surrendered, Gideon's army cheered, celebrating their hard-earned victory. The villagers had triumphed against all odds. News of their victory spread throughout the land, and Gideon and his army were celebrated as heroes. But Gideon knew that his success was not just about him. It was about every villager who had believed in him and supported his cause. In the end, Gideon learned that even the weakest among us can become the strongest. All we need is the right guidance, unwavering determination, and the courage to face our fears. With these newfound insights, Gideon continued to lead his village, not as a warrior, and so the legend of Gideon, the unlikely hero, lived on, reminding everyone that true strength comes from within. Did you enjoy this exciting tale of courage and resilience? Also, let us know in the comments section below what valuable lessons you learned from Gideon's journey. And if you're still watching, we've got a surprise for you. Have you ever felt like you weren't good enough or strong enough? Remember Gideon. He was just an ordinary guy who didn't think he had what it takes to be a hero. Gideon's story reminds us that heroism isn't always about being the strongest or the smartest. Sometimes it's about having the courage to face your fears and the determination to never give up. But that's not all. Gideon also teaches us about the importance of teamwork. He reached out for help and guidance from those who believed in him, and together they achieved the impossible. So, if you're feeling a bit intimidated or unsure of yourself, take a deep breath. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not good enough, because you never know what you're capable of until you try.